The Clintons and Facebook documents are exposed, the media narrative destroyed. Another attack on the Trump presidency is turning into an embarrassment for Democrats, since the New York Times report that the company with ties to Donald Trump's presidential campaign had mined the personal information of millions of Facebook users. The media in Capitol Hill have been filled with more accusations about undercover help Trump received before the 2016 vote. But internally, Hillary Clinton's campaign emails being published by WikiLeaks show the real scandal is just starting to come out, and the real villains are Democrats and the Hillary Clinton campaign again. Since the reports about the Trump-linked Cambridge Analytica first appeared, reports have already surfaced that Facebook allowed the Barack Obama re-election campaign wide access to user data back in 2012. But emails released by WikiLeaks show just how closely Facebook was working with the Hillary Clinton campaign in 2016. An email exchange between Clinton campaign manager John Podesta and Sheryl Sandberg, Facebook's chief operating officer, makes it clear the two were political soulmates dedicated to a Hillary Clinton victory. So many attacks against Donald Trump and his administration have been turned back on the Democrats that they look like fools for trying. When the website BuzzFeed published the Trump dossier in its entirety, even before the inauguration, Democrats and the media hoped it would destroy Trump's presidency. Instead, the country learned that what the Clinton campaign was capable of, Russian collusion, not a shred of evidence against Team Trump has become public. But boy, did we learn a lot about how Hillary sold out the country with the Uranium One deal. Now the media narrative appears to be shifting to the direction that Facebook was in cahoots with the Trump campaign because its users' data was mined by a company with ties to Trump, and this is somehow wrong. But the leaked documents show Facebook was in bed with the Clinton campaign, going back to when she was still stealing the nomination from Vermont socialist Bernie Sanders. Really? You'd think they'd stop trying by now. The real story behind Facebook and the Clinton campaign is coming out, which will make the Cambridge Analytica story just another media narrative that's been destroyed. But America started catching on a long time ago, I'm sure.
I often marvel at the simpletons with their placidity in meekly following the likes of the Clintons that any corruption might exist. There is no denying the Clintons are selfish, abusive, and vile. The facts speak, and now it seems the Department of Justice and the FBI are finally getting it together to investigate what many of us already knew, finding just how deep into the cesspool Bill and Hillary Clinton's so-called charitable organization, the Clinton Foundation, delves. Rumors and questions about, since leaked financial data shows the very little of donations actually end up going to the actual charities, putting the Clintons squarely on Front Street under a spotlight where they belong. And whether you want to believe it or not, a nonprofit organization like the Clinton Foundation is just another corporation. It's just like any other corporation. All they don't have to do is pay for taxes. They're non-exempt. That's the only difference. They're still a controlling conglomerate corporation. Financial records from 2014 show a measly 3% of donated funds received by the Clinton Foundation is all that ever makes its way to the actual charity. Meanwhile, a whopping 93% of all donations and funding received by the Clinton Foundation goes into the pockets of the Clintons themselves, their staff, expense accounts, trips, funding them in the lifestyle to which they believe they are entitled. When a purported charity can rake in and swell up to $177 million in donations, it sounds like a rousing success, except it really isn't when only $5 million of those same funds actually make it to the actual charity, when nearly 10 times that amount is being spent on other unnamed expenses. According to the 2014 financial records, That is exactly what the Clinton Foundation did. They took in more than $177 million in contributions and then spent more than $91 million in expenses, while a meager $5 million was made in actual charitable donations. The documents show they list 486 employees who were paid $34.8 million and $86.1 million in fees and expenses to give away $5.1 million. Hillary has long pointed out the Clintons' long history with Haiti, the world's first black republic, dating back to their 1975 honeymoon, when they met a voodoo priest and visited a hotel where Ernest Hemingway once stayed. Yet there are some of the most hated people in Haiti today. Following the devastating 2010 earthquake in Haiti, the poorest country in the world was devastated. The Clintons took millions in charitable donations that were given with the intent to help rebuild the country, further devastated by the natural disasters that have come after. Except very little of that money ever made it into the hands of those that needed it the most, the Haitians, and instead went in the line of the pockets of the Clintons and their band of merry sophisticants. Yet Hillary Clinton just could not resist getting her high horse via Twitter and condemn President Donald Trump's alleged description of their paradises on earth, otherwise known as El Salvador, Haiti, and some African countries as S-hole countries. And in an irony that could quite possibly end all future ironies, Clinton used the 8-year anniversary of the tragic earthquake that devastated the island nation of Haiti to summarize or surmise to the rest of the American people. The anniversary of the devastating earthquake 8 years ago is a daily reminder and memory of the tragedy and horror the resilient people of Haiti and affirmed Americans' commitment to helping our neighbors. Instead, we're subject to President Trump's ignorance, racist views of anyone who doesn't look like him, unquote. Well, that's funny because you blame Trump for his ignorance and racism when in fact you're the ones that screwed over the country in the first place. And everybody knows it, Hillary. Funny, but Kim Ives, the editor of the Haiti Liberté newspaper, stated of the Clintons, quote, "A lot of Haitians are not big fans of the Clintons. That's for sure. The fact the Clintons kind of took over things after the earthquake and did a pretty poor job of it translates into why the Haitians have pretty dim views of all the Clinton family," unquote. The paragon of virtue signaling attempted to condemn President Trump as a racist for his purported words, while her actions actually harmed the nation she is claiming to defend. Holy hypocrisy, Batman! Hillary was serving as Secretary of State in the Obama administration, and Bill was listed as the UN Special Envoy to Haiti when the January 2010 earthquake struck, killing an estimated 220,000 people. Approximately $13.3 billion was pledged internationally from donors for Haiti's recovery from the devastating natural disaster. Bill was then appointed as the co-chairman of the Interim Haiti Relief Commission, along with Haitian Prime Minister Jean-Max Bellerive. The IHRC soon found himself and itself under fire and internally criticized as frustrations and outright anger mounted due to the slow pace of recovery. As a result of that anger, its mandate was not renewed by the Haitian Parliament in 2011. An investigation ensued under the Obama administration, and a U.S. Government Accountability Office reported claiming no wrongdoing on the part of the Clintons, yet also reached the conclusion that the IHRC's decisions were not made in the best interest of the Haitian people and not necessarily aligned with the Haitian priorities. Bill's own office with the UN found that 9% of the foreign aid cash went to the Haitian government and 0.6% to local organizations. The lion's share of the funds went to various UN agencies, international aid groups, private contractors, and donor countries, owned civilian and military agencies. For example, the Pentagon billed the State Department for hundreds of millions of dollars for sending U.S. troops to hand out bottled water and maintain order in the streets of Port-au-Prince during the crisis. Significant conflicts of interest have arisen in the months and years since the earthquake occurred in the country roughly the size of Massachusetts. Private contractors rushed to take advantage in what some dubbed a gold rush of sorts, WikiLeaks revealed even more damningly. In an email exchange with top Clinton Foundation officials, a senior aide to Hillary, who was then Secretary of State, kept an eye out for those identified by the abbreviations FOB, or Friends of Bill Clinton, or the WJC VIPs, which is William Jefferson Clinton VIPs, need you to flag when people are friends of WJC, wrote Caitlin Klevorek, a senior State Department official who was vetting incoming offers of assistance coming through the Clinton Foundation. Klevorek claims she made the comments to help Bill identify whether potential and would-be contractors had a history in Haiti or with disaster relief. These revelations continue to provide evidence to support the claims of pay for play rampant throughout the Clinton Foundation. Though possibly the most enduring criticism of the Clinton Foundation's work in Haiti stems from its signature project, a garment factory known as the Caracol Industrial Park. The Clinton Foundation worked hand in hand in conjunction with the Clinton State Department to arrange a U.S.-subsidized deal with the Haitian government to build a $300 million factory complex in 2012. In order to make room for the 600-acre manufacturing site, several hundred Haitian farmers were evicted from their land. The site produces clothing for retailers such as Old Navy, Walmart, and Target. The South Korean textile giant Say Trade Company, the main employer of the facility, subsequently donated between $50,000 and $100,000 to the Clinton Foundation, causing Bill to proclaim the one and all 100,000 jobs would be created in short order for the Haitian people. Yet to date, the Caracol Industrial Park has created a mere 8,000 jobs. Peter Schweizer, president of the Government Accountability Institute and author of Clinton Cash, The Untold Story of How and Why Foreign Governments and Businesses Helped Make Bill and Hillary Rich, recommended using Charity Navigator to elevate organizations before making donations. He also observed they no longer attempt to evaluate the Clinton Foundation after delivering some extremely poor ratings. Peter Schweizer's statement is perfectly clear. Quote, "They had an asterisk that basically said we're not going to elevate the Clinton Foundation because of its, quote, unique business model. However, and whatever that means, so they stopped elevating them. There was a very interesting piece last year in the New York Magazine, hardly an anti-Clinton publication, but it described in detail how the Clinton Foundation, this philanthropy charity, was basically engaged in guerrilla warfare with Charity Navigator, that they were threatening them and undermining them because they didn't like the mark